party. The two suspects, Sayed Farouk and Tashfeen Malik, were a married couple, and they left their 6-month-old infant in the care of Farouk's mother, and committed these awful atrocities. I think it was 14 people dead, 21 injured. And after fleeing from the scene in a vehicle with a ton of ammunition, they were unfortunately ended up with the cops shooting them dead. And it's, I mean, how many mass shootings have we had this year in the United States?
There are days in the year.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. It was more than days in a year.
That's just it's sad, and it also it gives their community a bad name.
It does give them.
It adds more insult to injury than has already been happening. I know that Trump is he wants Muslims to wear be registered as Muslims.
That's a whole other story.
No,
it's
but I'm saying
no. I'm saying it's the same thing, but that's even another thing. If you want to go to Trump, because he's a little
Trump
going off.
Has Hitler.
That's what
ideas.
I'm saying.
Because I'm pretty sure back in Nazi Germany, Hitler wanted all the Jews to wear identification cards and register where they live and know where all the mosques are. But that is nothing to do with the San Bernardino shooting, and it's so sad. And I was reading that it's actually the wife, Malik, who was the mastermind behind this. They had met online at a dating site a couple years ago. They met up in person at a Hajj in I think Saudi Arabia, and she came back to she came over here on a fiance visa. They were married, and she was a very I'm not going to use the word radical, even though I should. I'm going to say she was a very devoted Muslim, and I guess she was a very overzealous and overly religious. Do
you think maybe a little extremist?
I mean, at this point, it's safe to say she was extreme because she came out and killed all these people with her husband. Her husband, Farouk, was also very devoted to his studies. His I don't know the proper term, but his mosque, one of the leaders at his mosque said that he was very religious. He could recite the Quran, the entire Quran. And he also took that opportunity to condone what they did. He's like, in our book, we teach not to kill people. And that's a misrepresentation of what we believe in. And I think that's important that that's heard, because I feel like now more than ever, the scrutiny that the Muslim community is facing, not just all over the world, but particularly in the United States in wake of everything that's going on, it's crazy.
It is a little crazy how it was strategically planned out, because the victims, some of the witnesses also said they're surprised. Some of them actually were just planning a baby shower with them.
Yeah, they planned a baby shower for
then all of a sudden, sooner than later, there's a shooting from them, and they're shooting at them. They put them in danger like that.
It was his own employees. He was a health inspector, and it was at his own company's party. He left and came back.
Almost like it wasn't seen. They couldn't tell. They wouldn't be able to tell that this would happen. It came out of nowhere.
That's crazy to me.
It makes you think, who could you trust?
It's just so sad. It's sad for everybody involved, and I feel bad for that 6-month-old baby they left behind, because you're gonna grow up and you're gonna realize who your parents were and what they did, and then you have your own choice. Do you let all of the hate from people that is misdirected to you from your parents? Do you let that corrupt you, or do you rise above it?
I mean, now I feel like that child is gonna grow up only knowing their parents by a line in a newspaper. You know what I mean? And that's the worst thing that you can do. I feel I don't know, there's some of these things that shootings in particular, I just feel I don't understand them, and I'm glad I don't understand them, because I'm not gonna go shoot up a public place. But it's just they're just misguided, and I just feel it's confusing, to put people that you work with, that you care about, in danger, and then also to put people that you have given life in danger like that for the future because of your
deep feelings.
Yeah. ISIS, of course, has already come out and called them martyrs for it, and
basically they are. I'm pretty sure they did this and was prideful for it.
Yeah, they did. They did this because I assume they knew they were going to get they were either going to blow themselves up or they were going to get shot by the police. I don't think they ever had the intention of getting arrested.
Yeah, they knew this would bring them major recognition.
They were so young. They were 28, 29 years old. So young. Yeah. Not that much older than us.
Yeah.
it's a tragedy. It really is. And it's one of those things in life that I just don't think I ever will understand, and I don't want to understand.
Maybe we should talk about all the bad stuff now, sad things.
Let's get out. Let's
More bad things.
more bad news. The Senate has voted to defund Planned Parenthood and repeal Obamacare. Great. This also removes the funds for investment in public health programs. The good news is that it still has to go through the House and to Obama, where it's going to get vetoed by Obama, like 100%, and it probably will not hold up in the House.
Well, I mean, I wonder that, like, after the election, if they're going to try to bring it up again. I don't know if that's even possible.
Well, that's a good point to bring up, because right now we have a Republican majority leading Senate, and I think the House as well, if I'm not mistaken. And so if we get a Republican president, it's over. Which is a scary thought, especially in wake of the shooting that just happened at Planned Parenthood not that long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, like, in terms of Planned Parenthood, like, originally it was created by a woman who was a racist.
Yeah.
Which is why it's in, like, low-income areas in the first place, but it's not just for abortions, and Planned Parenthood doesn't give abortions to anybody who asks for one.
It's a long process.
Yeah, it's a long process.
Yeah.
It's an expensive process. It's like $400, $500 to get an abortion. And they also give out condoms. They talk to people about, like, their sexual lives and their sexual behavior. They give them resources to get information about AIDS and HIV. And all of those types of things.
It's a great resource, especially for young people who have just come out, as gay or lesbian or transgender. It's a place where they can educate themselves as well as find out how to stay safe.
Definitely.
And
for those who are anti-abortion, if you don't know, Planned Parenthood really follow up with the people who are planning to get an abortion, and they let them know really what are you going to get yourself into. They show them, some
all
more
these
information
videos
about what's going to happen.
It's not a reckless thing. And I feel like a lot of people, like, based on their religious views, look at, like, abortion as a reckless thing. That's a very big decision that people have to make.
not just that, but you can't put your own religious views on somebody else if they don't believe the same. I understand. I think people have the right to not agree with abortion, and I respect that, because I think it's an awful thing, but I don't think that you should be able to legally push your view onto somebody else. Right. I think it's wrong that there was ever a point in this country where abortion was illegal, because it is based on a religious moral standpoint.
And also in terms of abortion, like, people don't just get abortions because they don't want children. They get abortions because it's safer than having a children, because childbirth can kill people, women specifically. So, I mean, like, there are a variety of reasons why we need, like a center such as, like, Planned Parenthood, even though it did come out of something that's evil. I'm glad that it has evolved into something that is helpful there for the community and good for the people that it facilitates towards. And it's just, I mean, I'm just worried about it's going to get vetoed, hopefully. I'm not going to make any promises, but hopefully Barry's going to come through. But if they bring it up again, and in the future, if we have a Republican president, which is looking very likely, only because of the fact that everyone says that once we have a Democrat president, it's going to go right back to Republican, because Republicans...
It shifts back and forth, I've noticed.
So, I mean... It's up to you, Barry, and hopefully the future president of the United States will make cool, better decisions.
Speaking of Republicans, did you guys hear about the priests who met with Trump?
Priests who met with
Trump? The priests who met with Trump. The pastors who have met with Trump, they did a meeting.
Oh, no, I did not hear about this.
Yes, and I was watching some interviews about it, and it seemed like nothing really... with substance was talked about.
What did he talk about? Yeah, like...
I guess mostly general statements he was talking about making changes, but not really anything that was laid down in order, like steps, but what are you going to do to make changes?
Well, I feel like I feel like a lot of people in politics right now, like Hillary, will say, like, oh, like, I have a lot of plans, but they never tell anyone about their plan. And I get it, it's sort of like, kind of like, you don't want to, like, ruin the surprise, but at the same time, it's like, if you just say you have a lot of plans, like, I'm not likely to believe you. Like, I want to see an example.
I want to see work.
Yeah, or, like,
progress.
Something that you can tell me that shows me that you do change things, as opposed to just name dropping and, like...
Exactly, or, having having posters just showing, oh, I'm going to be meeting with some black pastors, you know. Talk about what are you going to be talking about, actually their education.
Oh, it was,
talk about housing.
It was black pastors?
Black pastors, yeah.
That's like a black school, and it was like all these people, like African Americans for Hillary Clinton.
That's literally like that. Like, you know when like racist people be like, I'm not racist, I have a black friend? That's literally like, I feel like it's the same thing that they're trying to do right now.
The worst thing.
Exactly.
But she actually had her header photo on Twitter was like a bunch of black people holding signs that said African Americans for Hillary Clinton, and a lot of black Twitter was like up in arms because they were like, you realize you're just being used for a photo op, right?
Exactly.
You're using them as a prop.
And that's what it seems like the pastors were there for, just for the photo op, you know.
That's not
like I've said before in the show and in real life, I am not a fan of Hillary Clinton. I don't believe that she is. I think Hillary Clinton is probably one of the main reasons why people like don't trust Democrats
or don't trust women to be president.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I just personally, that's how I feel.
I feel the same way.
Like I feel a significant way because I want to support a woman because I am a feminist.
I want to see in my lifetime a woman president. It would be so cool, but she is not the one. It's not. She's
wishy-washy.
She is.
It's like visible. You know what I mean? Like there are small-time politics and there's the presidency, and you can be as wishy-washy as you want to get as much things as you want below the line where you're so publicized. You know, and like also she is Bill Clinton's wife. Like you can't get away from publicity, so you can't you have to take a stand on things.
And you have to take a side. You can't play monkey in the middle.
Well, Hillary Clinton is definitely no Bill, that's for sure.
Yeah, and neither is Donald Trump.
On to some sad news.
More sad news?
I want to say yes. I want to say rest in peace to 23-year-old reggae artist Jay Capri. She just passed away on Friday from brain injuries after having a car crash on the 23rd. And it's so sad because her birthday is coming up. So sad. She lost control of her car. She's really known for her major song, reggae song, Whining Koch with Charlie Black. So I love that song. I love reggae because I was just in Jamaica, so I've been playing reggae ever since I've been back, more than usual. And then just to hear this is really sad. I condolences to her family.
I just want to also add rest in peace to Scott Weiland from Stone Temple Pilots. He passed away while on tour this Thursday night. Scott was he was a troubled dude. He was an amazing performer. He was a grunge icon, from the 90s. And he struggled with drug addiction for a majority of his life. I mean, he's been in jail. He's been to rehab, in and out. He was supposedly sober. His wife was saying he was sober, but the police did go on the tour bus to investigate. They found cocaine within, the bathroom distance. They also arrested a member of his band. He's no longer in Stone Temple Pilots. He was kicked out in 2013. He's with his own band, and a member of his own band was arrested for possession of cocaine. So the official autopsy says he died of I'm pretty sure a massive heart attack, but we all know that means that you overdose.
Yeah.
So it's very sad.
They made the headline sound better.
I'm sure out of respect. Yeah.
It's just so sad when you see big major stars or upcoming stars, because Jay Capri, she was touring. I mean, so young, she was touring, and she had her song doing this, and then it's really unfortunate. But speaking of